Good morning, everyone, or afternoon or evening, wherever you're finding yourselves. This is BJ, and welcome to BJ's Esoteric Musings. I've been away for a little bit. Seems like, probably like most of you, August kind of blew up for me. I had a birthday pop in there, and I had a deluge of shifts that I didn't anticipate, so it made it an interesting month. Family visiting and that kind of thing. I did also go the end of the month to Santa Fe to Hogarth's retreat, which was fabulous, I've got to say. Wonderful people. There was turned out to be about 17 of us there, which was a perfect little tight opportunity to be with like minds. Hogarth was very generous with his knowledge and time, and part of what we were doing was having daily group with him so that he could explain Neo-Vedic astrology to us, or Vedic, I should say. And it was just great. It was a great time. Santa Fe, as many of you probably know, I had never been there, but it is at a pretty high altitude. So we did have some folks impacted with that. And then I guess because I didn't have anything better to do, I got hit with a right tidy little summer head cold. So I ended up having to leave early because I was so concerned about getting anyone else sick that I ended up coming home. But wonderful, wonderful. I left there feeling like I had 17 new friends in the world, and just a marvelous opportunity. If any of you out there ever consider going to some of these retreats that the various channels are now doing, I would highly recommend it uh, because it is quite an experience. One of the things I found myself doing a lot too has been journaling. I have been more and more in my journals, and in fact, the first night I returned home, I was so exhausted and I wanted to go to bed very early, and my husband jinxed me. He said, "Well, if we go to bed too early, you'll be up at midnight." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, right. I'm jet lagged. I don't feel well." Well, guess what? 12:30, I was up. Yes. And I was prompted to get out of bed and go to my journal in the family room and start writing. And then I did that for probably 4 or 5 pages. And then, probably within 24 to 48 hours, I was back being prompted to write. So, what I want to share to you today, with you today, is those writings. I think there was some influence. I think a lot of them mostly came just right from me because these are the things that I have been pondering as we've been moving through this year. Being here in the U.S., we can't, doesn't matter how much we try to set aside the noise and the news or lack thereof from the various outlets, which I have been trying to do for the last 18 months, but it seeps in anyway. And so some of these things are a bit reflective of those times as well. But I apologize. Um, I don't always just do an open channel situation, so these are written, and I will read what I have written in the journal for you. Sorry about that. This microphone and I have another one, and I'm going to set it up because this one just drives me nuts. I can't seem to ever get it set right. And if I do I've got it on a box trying to get it up closer to my mouth so I can be heard, which usually is never a problem I have plenty of volume. So, with that, anyway, um, this is some of what I was writing in my journal. We are in a time of huge transition, and we must decide if we are a peg or if we are the pendulum. The peg is simply a marker of degrees and a target for the pendulum. The pendulum swings at will unless it is acted upon by some outside force, Newton's law. So it holds a constant rhythm, and each peg falls in its turn. Pendulums also tend to swing to the extremes, and I think we've been seeing this. If we think of the energies and everything as a pendulum, and gradually reduce in rotation to eventually find that sweet spot of the midpoint or center point. We are seeing this live in the world. Unrest and the government, parentheses governments, in a serious state of decay. This is what being shaken to our foundations is, so that the deck is cleared and we rebuild. That is what history teaches us. But we are in a time of great change, and it is the stretch that is so necessary to allow for the corrections to be made. We do not have to render to ash in order to clear that which does not serve the lives and interests of the whole. Most need to retire or to set aside once the levers of the rule of law is applied and term limits, codes of conduct, dollars capped, etc. done. Then transition to the most seasoned as an advisory body as to procedures and the mechanisms of the job. The physical world will adapt and become dreamers once again. The imaginations will come online for those who move too far away from their inner child toward fear and dogma. We each have a unique process, but each one of us who steps to the table has a perspective that adds a piece to the greater good and the greater puzzle. We each have our way, process, and to set the day and begin with a purpose for that day. End of day is our thanks and gratitude offering, blessings to the Mother, creation, and our loved ones. If you do not currently have, I digress here, if you do not currently have a dedicated process that ebbs and flows within you so that it's not just rote, develop one, because all things are asking for that light energy and for the blessings. Even Gaia, Mother Earth, who has, probably in the last few months, she's uttered requests for light and to remember to bless her, because she's got a lot she's dealing with. And she's capable, but like all of us, we need a little boost now and then, right? So, back to what I had here. I did that. Setting and closing of the 24-hour cycle are bookends with a clear intention. This builds within us to include all. We need our internal structure to be sound, for that is the vessel that can impact our external environs. As we are fortified from within to navigate as we move through life. I do not know why I look so gray. I have tried everything with the lining. Again, I digress. Let's see what we get here. Well, there's my blue. I'm trying to get everything going here. Okay, and how about my fan? Well, even that didn't help much. I apologize. I really am not gray. I may have felt gray, but no. Anyway, again, I digress. So, We are more willing to find patience and grace as we interact in our community or wherever we find our moments in the day. And I think when we set those intentions in the morning, that's part of what this is speaking to, is being able to then uh, consciously and in the moment move through our day, through our communities, and allow others that grace, bring them a smile, a happy discussion, and a wishing of a good day. Uh, we have the capacity to hear someone and place ourselves in their shoes, more easily holding compassion to move gently as they work through something, or someone trying to find their sense of communing once again. My purpose here is not to call balls and strikes, but to offer practical, beneficial knowledge in our day to day and how we move through it with greater ease. Because we are in easy times. I think we're all keenly aware of that. I am not a competitive person. I'm just not. Nope, never have. And even in saying never, on the rare, something may be remotely competitive. I may to a degree, but it's just not my nature to do so. And the reason I talk about this competitiveness is there seems to be so much of it going on in the world. I have always felt that to win means another loses. I think Simone Biles understands this. Yes, she competes and wins. She wins big because she has perfected her skill set, goat that she is. She owns her own excellence, but can bend a knee in respect to others' accomplishments with no diminishing of herself or standing. We saw her do this on the podium at the Olympics. Light pulls others up to it. It is Hermione's purse, as it can expand to encompass all who wish to be a part, lifting. Oh, sorry. That's the way I wrote that awkwardly. Lifting others beats killing competition every time. I just threw in a few more words. Hopefully that makes it read a little easier. When we hold ourselves in grace and give it away to others liberally, it takes nothing from us, but magnifies all who share in its bounty. And that's what we're trying to do, right? When we aid another or lighten the burden of another, we are operating in grace, and it creates an infinity loop within which touches into our neighbors, our community, and onward. The ripples in the calm lake that awakens to the pebble being tossed into her. And as the movie Avatar so aptly portrayed, we are all interconnected. We lift all, or we all perish. Yeah, no, that is not the goal. We don't wish to perish. We do wish to lift and bring others up into that higher vibration. Sammy Vanek, his channel bears his name, is learning this knowledge, and in such a beautiful way. He is showing his journey and courage to openly experience and embrace things that he doesn't totally understand, but is absolutely embracing his journey with an open heart and inviting others to do so. We will see these seeds more and more bearing fruit, glorious, humbling, expanding, and restorative on a level that for some surpasses understanding. It is all about the feels. Emotions are a sensory side of life. They can be tricky to navigate, as so much is shown at its most base level in all types of messaging. But to navigate it internally can be oh so rewarding for those that embrace them. This is not, it is not that we should be going backwards by forcing compliance to control another, but what people are yearning for is the feelings that in those times engendered. It is a remembering, not an absolute turning back of our progress. People here, for the most part, were decent, good neighbors. Simpler pleasures were enjoyed, were more robust when shared the experience. People still do that to a degree, but the externals have become the main drivers of many, and the internals becomes lost in the shuffle. We need to get back to the internal, to the simplicity of the days that are now in our memories. It's that we crave, not the dogma, not the rigid, the external things that were so driven and still remain so in so many ways. We need to flip our priorities and create a real landscape. Anchoring the light as we do, we are here as patterns, examples of better ways of being. And so it should be. Let's see. We're right about 17 minutes. It's been a minute, so I do want to pull some cards. I know I always end up with my dragon cards, but that's because I love them so. And the dragon energy. This is the wood dragon year, and I think that's what's bringing to the memories of so many is their memories of dragons. If they have been fortunate enough to delve into that. And I think many here have. More and more I hear people speaking of their dragons. But I'm going to do the Lemurian deck that I like so well. And it has beautiful messages on the back. So let's see. For the collective, for the next few weeks. I also want to remind, please go over to my community page. I began posting a exciting collaborative that we are going to be doing. We're going to be recording on the 20th. It won't be live for a bit. We've been working on the format, topics that we want to discuss, and our hope is that it brings good spiritual food to this community, that it may answer some questions that some of you have. We will tread lightly. I am one of those people who has I can have a very blunt delivery. I don't suffer fools, and so I tend to be very blunt and to the point. And I realize that not all can handle that kind of thing. So it's my hope to temper some of that. But if you see some of those moments, it's simply because it's something that can't, we've played with too long. It's not a matter of playing as much as a matter of doing. We play with the inner child, but we do it with intention and purpose. And that is a shift. But it's going to be Nicole at Cosmic Blue Avian, and it's going to be Loretta at Mom's Tarot? Mother's Tarot. She's a lot of fun. And then myself. So the three of us have already put down about a dozen topics that we're going to go through. So I'm hoping that catches fire within the community, and that many of you will come, listen, ask your questions. We will eventually move to a live format as it develops, but just stay tuned. I'm going to put um, another item on it on the community page this week. So um, please be looking for that because we're absolutely looking forward to it. We've been getting very excited just in our discussions on it. So yes, that is coming up, and we're always looking for others to collaborate with. We have some folks in mind, realizing that it's kind of a gentle walk because we are trying not to focus on the mundane that is in the world, but truly reaching for higher light and the information that comes with that. So, community for this rest of the month. Ooh, 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 that one's just jumping out at me. I'll pull 3 here. Ooh, I think they're going to be all like right together. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Beautiful butterfly. Okay, so the first one that I pulled, I'm sorry they're not as vibrant. I just don't understand this. But what this one is manifestia. You can decide how you want to live. The universe fully supports your choice to step into the optimal version of yourself. Dream big, then dream bigger. Dreaming is a big start. Now is a great time to start the projects you have been considering. All it takes is some pollination. Be creative with your visioning. Sow the seeds of the reality you want to experience through affirmative thinking and higher intention. Boy, is this hitting right along the discussion. Then anchor or ground your dream seeds. Manifest from the heart. Overcome fear. Take strong positive action and let go of the outcome. Know and trust your dreams are already on their way and expect to see results. The next card almost looks like it has the medical symbol, the helix, the double helix. Harmonic flight. This powerful image represents the divine we see when we look deeply into the eyes of another and our armor drops. When we meet another being present in the moment with no stories, judgments, or insecurities, when we harmonize our energies with another, we can soar to the sky. You can guide each other higher and higher by encouraging all that has been weighing us down to drop away. The bonds you share give you the power to transmute fear. Put time and awareness into resolving karmic connections, or they will continue to play out. There may also be a life-changing connection on the horizon. Oh, may it be so. May it be so. Beautiful card. The last one, the beautiful butterfly. With sacred geometry to boot. Love it. This is the throat chakra. Express your truth. I'm amazed how many have had throat and thyroid, me one of them, issues, where developing that is so essential in speaking our truth forward. And actually, I think there's an amazing thing that I know happened to me in my mid to late 50s, where I finally shed, and not that I was one to put on airs by any means, but I think we all have a public persona, a business persona, a private persona. And I had been working for myself again for a number of years. So I had pretty much dropped any business persona, the kind of thing you need to hold to in certain corporate settings. They have a corporate attitude and a way of being. And that was mostly why I couldn't survive in corporate world for very long. Wasn't that I couldn't do the work or wasn't capable. I didn't like the BS, to put it bluntly. And I wasn't about to play in that. So this is about expressing our truth, and the time for that is now. Now more than any other. Our truth needs to be spoken out so that others can feel that courage and the strength of our conviction in expressing that. That is so important. We have to live in totality, in truth, in integrous lives. It is essential. It is all we have at the end of the day is our integrity. And if we sell that out, we've sold everything. So this is speaking to some of that. The throat chakra, again, I put it up, expressing your truth. This chakra is the origin of expression. It is the source of the life spark that inspires your aliveness and stokes the creation fires in others. This is the outer sharing of your inner being, the glowing song of your soul, and the wings of your flight to understand more of who you are. Connect to the crux of your potential and take it further than you could have imagined. As spirit fuses into the tangible, it actualizes as a platform for greater experience and new facets of sculpting seeds and sharing as a fractal of light in the form of your own unique language. Okay, people, I don't think the Lemurians could have been any more spot on in all of this than what they've given us in this reading. Let me see if I can put these three together, hold them up for you. Okay, once again, we have the Manifestia, we have the Harmonic Flight, and we have Throat Chakra, expressing your truth. May you all continue to find your truth as we move forward through this month and towards what's coming in the fall. I'm excited for it to be fall. Autumn is my favorite time of year, and I'm sure ready for the heat to be over. So, on that note, I'm going to leave this here. May anything that you heard here today that resonates within you, may you take it with you, and may you expand upon it. If it does not, leave it here. I take no offense either way. I will be back again. Things are precarious, so I don't dare say I'll be back in a week or I'll be back in 3 days. I will be back when I feel moved to do so. I'm still building this channel, and it's still early on, and so we shall see. But yes, I have a new camera to set up and a new microphone, and I'm hoping that clears up a lot of this gray tones that, I've been sick, but I haven't been this sick. You know what I mean? I do have color. I promise I have color in my face. So on that note, I leave you with all of this. Blessings to your day. And as always, thank you. Thank you. If you like this content, remember, it's for entertainment purposes only. I mean to offend no one. I hope that you will like, subscribe, and share if you find wisdom here, and that we can build this community together. As I keep saying, We are seeking, especially Loretta and Nicole at Cosmic Blue Avian, we're seeking those dialogues and interactions with all of you. We want to hear your comments, your thoughts, your truths, and how that moves us all forward and higher in the vibration of consciousness. So, on that note, I bid you a good day. Blessings to all of you. Thank you so much for listening to this, and I hope you've watched to the end. Even with my little fumblings and foibles, I am human. Bye-bye for now.